Hello everybody, I'm Iradhya and today we're going to talk about what? Solar system. Guess what? It's the most favorite and much more exploring topic. So without wasting time, let's take off to the solar system. Okay? So we're gonna start with the introduction. The solar system is set made up of sun and the eight planets that revolve around it. Of the eight planets, one is Earth, where we live. Okay, so these eight planets are what? You need to revise every single thing because it can come to your examination. So the eight planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, as always we live on that, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune. So these are the eight planets which is in the introduction. Okay, when was it formed? We have to learn every single detail when we study anything. So when was the solar system formed? Tell me. The truth is that it is formed so long ago that it is very difficult to know for sure, but it is believed that it was formed 4 billion years ago. Oh god, it's shocking, isn't it? Yeah, but it's true. Okay, where is it? Where is it right now? There are millions of galaxies in the universe. One of them is one we know as Milky Way galaxy. Okay, the Milky Way galaxy, formed by stars, dust, and gas, is a spiral shape. It could be said that its appearance is something like a whirlpool with several arms. So see, in so there is one ball. So it's very complicated to learn about space. But let me explain you in a small and steady way. So imagine this is the whole universe. Imagine it's not. You just imagine it's the whole universe. Okay, and in and in it many small galaxies are there. Or when we zoom that galaxy has so much to contain. Okay, so in the galaxies there are so many things, but not only solar system. Okay, there are many galaxies. In many galaxies there are different solar systems. There's different types of systems. Okay, so you can imagine how huge are they. In that system there are many planets. In many planets there are many things. Okay, so it goes on by the stages. But the main thing we're gonna learn about is that in that galaxies there are so many systems, but that one system is known as solar system, which in which we are living right now. Okay, so it is so who what's that galaxy's name in which we are living right now? The galaxy's name is Milky Way, not Milky Bar, not anything. Okay, it's Milky Way. Okay, it is formed by stars, dust, and gas, and has a spiral shape. It could be said that its appearance is something like a whirlpool with several arms. So now it's time for two, the planets and the sun. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the brightest star. Who is the brightest star? This is the brightest star known as the sun. Okay, the sun is the main protagonist of the system, which is why it is called solar system. What is the meaning of protagonist? If the definition came, a teacher can also ask, what is the meaning of protagonist? See, you're writing that, you should know that thing. So whenever you're using something, you must know the name of it and the meaning of it. So the protagonist means the the main object on which everything is dependent on. Okay, so you can see Earth is dependent on moon, Earth is dependent on sun, and every other planet is dependent on sun because it's the main resources. Sun provides you heat, sun provides you sunlight, which helps in many ways. So it's the main resource. Okay. So it is located in the center, and everything revolve around it. The sun is an immense star that emits in its own light and heat. Okay, it is closest star to the earth, and on which all life depends. All life on earth depends on it. Okay, as I told you earlier. So now we're gonna talk about our home. What is our home? Not this building. We are talking about planets. So which is our home planet? It is Earth. Earth is our home planet. Okay, remember that. So our home planet Earth is a rocky and celestial planet. It has solid active surface with mountains, valleys, canyons, plains, and much more. Earth is special because it is an ocean planet with water covering 70% of the surface. Okay, so as you can see in the side, there is a picture given of Earth. As you can see, there is water, okay, more than land. So there's very less land, but very much water. How can you see that? Because water is covering the 70% of the Earth's portion. Only 30% is the land. And you might be thinking, oh, we have 70% of the water. So why they are telling us to save it? Save water. You know, there's there's no need, okay? If there is 70% of the water, you may save it. But anyways, I'm gonna tell you that many percent is the glacier water, which is frozen, and many percent of the water is like salt water, which is unfit for drinking, which we cannot drink. It's salty, that's why. Only 1% of water, 1% out of 70%, there is only 1% water left on the earth, which is fresh water, which we can drink. And see, this 1% water is distributed in all the world. This 1% water is, see, in one country there are many people, okay? So you can see how 1% water is there. Okay, that's why they're telling to save water, save life. Okay, now we're gonna talk about rocky planets. So rocky planets are mainly four. Here are only mentioned three because we have already talked about Earth later in the slide. So now we're gonna talk about the three rocky planets. Okay, so you may revise and remember these names. Which are the names? Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. There are four. Okay, Mercury. It is the closest to the sun and also the smallest planet. It is the planet without satellites and in its orbit. Its surface, covered with rock and craters, resembles that of the moon. Okay, as you can see this. So Venus. It is one of the most resembled planet in the Earth, and it is the most resembled planet in the Earth, and so it is the most resembled planet, Earth, and it is the hottest planet of the solar system. It is covered with very thick clouds that reflect sunlight, so that is that at night it looks bright, and we can distinguish it between with the naked eyes. Okay, so you might be thinking, okay, Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. It is also the smallest. Then why isn't it the hottest planet? Because it's the closest, so sun's light reaches more to Mercury than Venus. Why Venus is known as the hottest planet? So the reason behind it is that so the reason behind it is that is because atmosphere. Atmosphere? Trust me. Atmosphere plays an important role in it just plays an important role because think of rock captures the light and it just let it go. But trust me, when a rock has the atmosphere, it will absorb the light and keep it absorbed. It will not let it escape. Okay, that is why Mercury is like a huge piece of rock. Okay, it has no atmosphere. That is why the sun light comes and goes. But that also doesn't mean that Mercury isn't hot. It's hot, but not that hot as compared to Venus. Okay, so Venus have atmosphere. Okay, that is why it can absorb the light and keep it absorbed, keep it hot, and not let it escape. Think of Venus. If Venus was a rock, it has no atmosphere. Mars will be the Earth would be the hottest planet. Okay, so this is the difference. So now we're gonna talk about giant planets. Giant planets are also four: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So now we're going to talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is a gigantic planet. Its size is 1,300 times larger than Earth. It has many natural satellites. The most important one is Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. As you can see, this is the image of Jupiter. Now we're going to talk about Saturn. Saturn is the yellowish planet and next to Jupiter, the hottest planet. The most special thing about Saturn that its famous rings composed of rock and ice, water ice. Some of the natural satellites are Hyperion and Lictus. So you may not remember any other planet, but whenever you see a planet with rings, you will just identify without any hint. Oh, this is Saturn. Why? Because its rings are famous. Okay, that's why. Now we're going to talk about the other two planets, which are Uranus and Neptune. Uranus is categorized as very cold planet because it is far from Sun. Its axis of rotation is tilted and it looks bluish in color because of the gases that form on its surface. Uranus has also ring system and very few natural satellites, including Titania, Oberon, and Miranda. So Uranus, it is saying that it also have ring system. Then why can we see that? So, and in the image there also is not said that also it's not drawn like where is the rings. So it has very few rings. That is why they're not showing the rings about that. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Neptune. It is the farthest from the sun, and it makes it coldest planet in the solar system. Also, because of the gases in its atmosphere, it appears blue because it has four rings formed by dust particles. See, it has very few rings, and when it comes to Saturn, Saturn has too many rings. So now we're gonna travel through the solar system. So whenever we travel anywhere, you learn many things. What is the culture there? How they work there? Everything. So when we travel into the solar system, we also gonna learn too many things. So let's travel and let's learn with fun. So the first stop is our satellites. A satellite is a body that revolves around another. Usually larger bodies, they are solid and have no atmosphere. In the solar system, some planets have satellites, although around the Earth there is only one satellite, the Moon. Artificial satellites are those which is made, launched into space by humans to collect all kinds of data about a planet. Let me tell you, there are two kinds of satellites. There is one that natural satellite, which is come from the nature, and one is artificial satellite, which is made by which is made by it is man-made. Okay, artificial satellite is man-made. Okay, so we're talking about there are two kinds of satellites. One is the natural one, and one is the artificial. So natural one is the satellite which came directly from the earth. It came from the nature. But the artificial one is the one which is man-made. Okay, so it is made by humans. So natural satellite revolve around the earth randomly because of the gravitational force of certain planets. But the artificial one is specially made and launched into the space to collect all kinds of data about a planet. So because a human cannot travel everywhere. So now we're gonna talk about the moon. The moon, which is the natural satellite of the earth. Right now, I told you. Okay, the moon is the rocky celestial body without rings. So again, So the moon is the rocky celestial planet without rings. It does not give its own light but reflects the light it receives from the sun. The moon takes different positions so it does not always present in the same illumination. In its path, the moon goes through four phases, which are mainly in order: new moon, first quarter, full moon, and last quarter. So, the moon is a celestial body without rings. It does not emit its own light, it reflects the light of sun. These are the common facts you know about the moon. But the main thing it is, you see, you will not see moon in the same shape always. So it is because it changes position to position as it so that's why it affects on the overall look we just see to the moon. Okay, so the moon goes through four phases, which is new moon, first quarter, full moon, and last quarter. Okay, so now there is the second stop: asteroids. An asteroid is a small rocky object that orbits the sun and some planets. Asteroids are smaller than the planet but larger than objects that size of the chunk of rock. Okay? Meteoroids. Meteoroids are the remains of celestial bodies that impact the Earth or any other star. These fragments reach the surface because they are not to disintegrate completely as they pass through the atmosphere. Fourth stop: International Space Station. So the International Space Station is the largest object ever seen into space. It revolves around the Earth at the average speed of 27,700 km per hour, and it describes 16 orbits per day. At night, it is clearly visible to our Earth as it travels at an altitude of 320 kilometers above us. So this is International Space Station, which is situated in the space for some additional use. Okay, so whenever you're in the balcony at night, and if you see such things, don't don't capture the video and send it on the social media and send it be like, oh, I see the UFO. Oh my God, it's not an UFO, it's a International Space Station, bro. You might be fooled. Okay, so that's time for the end, and it's time for the trivia. A fun fact. Okay, so light takes 8 and 17 seconds to travel from Earth to Sun to Earth's surface. Okay, so whenever you see the sun, remember that sun is not in the same position as you're seeing it right now. It is in a different position. You're seeing the version 8 minutes back. The average distance between sun and the earth is 15 crore kilometers. Can you believe it? No, it's unbelievable. Okay, 12 people have walked on the surface of moon, beginning with Neil Armstrong, famous name, and ending with Jean Carnan. All lunar landings took place between July 1969 and December 1972 as part of the Apollo program. Astronauts aboard the International Space Station circle the Earth every 90 minutes and experience a sunrise and a sunset 16 times in each period. Okay? The size of the Earth is 81 times larger that of the Moon. Thanks for watching my video. If you like and if you get some knowledge with fun, please like and subscribe my video. We'll meet again with the same content, with the new content, and with a new exciting topics. So for more, please like and subscribe. Till now, good.